Modifiers! Hey, welcome back to this short form video series on fighting fantasy and the ways I'd like to modify it. Oh, so as you may recall, in order to challenge the players, the base game imposes penalties on its roll under checks, lowering the threshold, depending on the situation that the players are in. Now, the book is chock full of tables to cover almost every situation. From hiding to sneaking to climbing to swimming to falling to casting, it's all in there. And while a lot of these tables boil down to impose between -1 and -6, depending on severity, this is still a lot of page flipping to expect the Game Master to do, and that is no good. But I'm here to tell you that there is a better way. So, in addition to the overall lower skill score that we've talked about in previous videos, there are also multiple games that have given us example mechanics of ways to modify a roll without doing any math. Now, the most obvious example here is 5e D&D with its advantage-disadvantage system, though when I tried to port this over, it felt a little weird because you were rolling two sets of 2d6. While not unusable, that was not as good as my second example, which is Dungeon Crawl Classics. Now, Dungeon Crawl Classics uses a dice chain to modify its rolls, and while it uses funky dice, our base die here is a d6, which means it's really easy for us to move up and down the chain and still stay within the base polyhedral set. So, for example, if a player is running around while over encumbered, we as the game master can say, hey, instead of rolling 2d6, you now have to roll 2d8 or possibly 2d10 to get under your threshold. And here you're raising the average roll by 2 to 5 points. So the threshold hasn't changed and no one's had to do any math, but the roll has still been made more difficult. Now, the other thing we can do here is hand wave a lot of the very specific scenarios laid out in the book. Honestly, it is my philosophy as a game designer that we should give these tools that we create to our game masters and then trust them to know when and how much to apply them. Anyway, those are just my opinions, and we are super out of time, so thanks for watching.